Hi everybody, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for following my YouTube channel. And today I will talk about the things you should know when talking to AI machines. During the recent days, I have heard a lot about the AI agents, the agentic agents, and the skills we should learn to lead these agents, right? How we should interact, how we will delegate tasks to these agents. So that means that we should communicate, right? We should develop new skills and we should develop also new ways to work in our workflow and in our work environment. Think about that you will delegate to the agent to write emails, to prepare reports, and to help you predict specific outcomes and help you to make better decisions. So all this requires a lot of things to keep in mind, and that is what I want to share with you on this video. Okay. And the first thing I want to mention is that when you start interacting with the AI, is that you should consider that AI is a very human technology, and you don't need to know codes. You don't need to know a lot math to use the artificial intelligence or to use the generative AI models like ChatGPT, Mistral, Llama, Cloud, and many other models that are already available there. Now, think about to use these agents to augment your intelligence, to use it as your strategic thinking partner, right? Or think about these tools to enable you to generate and create great ideas and, resolve things faster, right? And you don't need to start the work from zero. With these agents, you will have the chance to, get 50, 80% of the work, and the 20% is yours. You are the ones to review, analyze it, edit it, and see what works okay and what should be used for your work. Okay. So that is the first thing you should keep in mind when talking to these AI machines with the agents, right? And as I mentioned, the strong communication skills, it is very important. You have to develop those communication skills, right? If probably you have never been on charge of people, right? And probably you are learning those skills to lead more people. Well, now you will lead agents, right? So it sounds maybe like a movie, right? Like a fiction, but it's real. You have to, talk to the AI agent, to your intern, and show it how to do the work, what you expect, and when to expect that information, right? With the specifics. So that is why communication skills it is very important when talking to machines. All right. Now, one of the tips that I want to give you is that you can use your phone. You can install like ChatGPT on your phone and use advanced voice capability to develop these skills. You can use it daily, and you can have voice interactions with the model. With the latest model, believe me, it is very impressive, and you will really feel like you are talking to a real person because it makes ChatGPT makes this very real. And if you develop these skills, if you spend 1 hour daily using these models, and believe me, you will really develop those skills. Okay. Now, you should keep in mind also that every large language models like Mistral, Llama, ChatGPT, Gemini, and many others have different personality. They have been trained on very different domains and on a specific task. So that is why you should use different ones. You should not only keep like, oh no, ChatGPT is the only one. No, no, no. There are a lot. Actually, there is one report, I think, I don't remember, but I think it's Stanford who published that, and they have a list of all the models that have been created and that have been trained. There are thousands of models. But that is why it's very important that you should know that there are frontier models or closed models like ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini. But these companies also have the open source models, right? For example, Mistral is a company from, I believe, if I'm not wrong, from UK. And Hugging Chat, it's a platform that hosts all the open source models, and you can use, for example, Chema, which is built by Google, uh, but here you can use Llama, you can use Mistral, and many other open source models that are also very helpful and very useful. So here the task for you is to test them, okay? And think about that every model has different personality. Now, you should think about which one best fits into your needs. So that is why you have to learn, you have to use them, and you have to see which ones uh, gives you better responses, and also based on the on your context and your company policies. That is something you should really consider. Okay. Now, of course, when you use paid versions, you will have better results, right? You will have more tokens. You will have less restrictions. When you use the free versions, you will have less capabilities. So that is why you should keep in mind that personally, if you are starting to use these models, probably start using the free versions. But if you're really going to take it to the next level, really consider to pay for how to say a frontier model, for example. Right? Now, these models have a training cut-off date, and I mean this is something that you just should know that sometimes you will get information. I mean, it has happened to me. And when I say, okay, tell me, for example, who won the World Cup in 2026, it might say, oh, it's what I was trained in the 2020, I'm sorry, in by October 2024, for example. So I don't have any information after that date, okay? So, but now one of the things that already happened is happening with, for example, with ChatGPT is that they enable to search information on the internet. That means that they go in real time and go search for the information, bring it to the chat, and you can start processing and interacting with the model. Okay. Another important thing is that this is something you should know, and that is why it's very important that you also should give context. Okay, so you should give context to the model, and you should teach the situation that you are uh, going to have or interact with the model. Think about, for example, that if you have a project and the project is about implementing, uh, let's say, RPA technology, for example, and you want to automate, but you want to implement it specifically on the healthcare industry, for example, right? So you tell the context, you show the background of the project, you give all the information, but you are teaching the model, you are giving in context learning, right? Which means that the model will then process the information based on your needs, based on your person, and based on your context. So it will not give very general information. The other thing you should keep in mind when talking to AI machines is that they are not the source of facts. You should always make sure that the information that you are getting it is accurate. You can actually in the prompt or you can ask the agent to tell, hey, give me the citations. Where is the data coming from? I want to know the source of the data. I want to make sure that the information is real. If you get the information, you get the citations, fine. That is one good way to overcome these issues. The other thing is that you, as an expert, you can double check the information. You can double check the information on internet or any other source that you may have that you can double check that the information you are getting is really accurate or is real. Now, one of the things that I recommend always to people when they use these models is to change their mind, not to think as the ChatGPT, for example, or other large language model, to use it as a or to say as a search tool because it is not designed for this purpose. It is designed to answer questions, to execute tasks, to help you to make a better decisions. So if you think about search tool, you can use Perplexity, for example. Perplexity is a great tool to make search on internet. It will give you responses, but it will also give you similar answers like Google, right? So think about that, and it's very important that not to use as a search tool. Don't stop with the first response. You can ask ChatGPT, make it better. Why are you giving me this response? Hey, you are doing uh, something wrong here. Please refine the response. I mean, you can interact with the model until you get better responses, but never get with the first response on the ChatGPT, for example. Now, one of the things that I like this very much, and I think that is one of the reasons why we should think how to communicate and what is the way we should, how to say, keep in mind when talking to the agents. I would say that think about that you are the boss, right? And the AI agent is your intern. Or that means that you can ask for a specific task. You can ask for to perform a specific task, but you can also ask to respond questions. So the more precise instructions you give, the better responses you will get from the model. So similar to the boss, right? If the boss gives precise instructions, ask the right questions, he will get the right questions and he will get great outcomes on the task he assigned to his interns, right? So that is why it's important that you can use this as analogy, right? And the other thing is important that is that when you use these models, right? Sometimes people, and I think 70% or 60% of the content already on social media is generated with AI. And but who is the owner of this information? You are the owner. If you are the one that is doing a publication or is preparing a document, and actually you did that information and you sent to your boss, but you use the AI, the owner of this information doesn't matter if it's wrong, it's right. You are the owner, no one else. So that is why you should keep this in mind. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to talk is about hallucinations. And I think many people have heard about this, but one of the things that you should keep in mind when when you interact with the model is that you may get unexpected results, right? The model is designed, is trained to help people, and sometimes even if the information is not available or if the model was not trained with that context, he will make up the information to look like it's accurate and put it for you. So if you read the information, you say, oh my god, this is correct, so it sounds reasonable, right? But maybe the information is wrong. So that is why you have to pay attention to hallucinations and make sure that the response you get is real, it's accurate, I would say, and it's based on what you are expecting. So take a look. And of course, there are techniques, there are ways to overcome hallucinations. But we can talk in another video, okay? The other thing is important is to evaluate responses. Sometimes you get information that is not accurate, and I think that I mentioned already that sometimes it is good to tell the model, hey, let's say, for example, that you upload a document and you want a summary, and sometimes the information does not match what the summary is giving to you versus what it is on inside the document. So sometimes it's better to tell the model, hey, give me the structure of this document. Tell me in what page are you looking at, or if you are giving me information about the specifics of this document, give me the page or give me the chapter number, or where are you getting this information from. So when you're doing this kind of evaluation of these responses, you will be better at managing and using these models. So I strongly recommend to evaluate every response you get from the AI. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. Um, I think we already talked about how to communicate skills, communication skills, and curiosity, critical thinking, and all that stuff. But you should know that there are frameworks, there are techniques that you can use to do unstructured conversations or very structured conversations with agents, right? For a specific and for complex tasks. But to achieve that, you should learn prompting. So that is why there are some trainings to do prompting, or they call it prompt engineering, and you learn how to communicate with the machines. So I do recommend to take a training. There are many trainings out there. One of the things that I want to say is that the AI models have learned prompting. So even if you don't know how to prompt a model, you can say, hey, I want to achieve this task. Help me to generate a prompt or refine my prompt. Okay. So that is why it's very important to learn prompting. I do recommend you very strongly. Don't ask for a fruit if you really want a green banana. Sometimes we ask the model for information that is not what we are expecting. And why? Because we are not very specific. And this is just one real example, right? You ask for, hey, I want a fruit, but you are not being specific, right? But if you tell, hey, I want a strawberry, but I want a banana, oh my God, here's what you have. Okay, why? Because I was very specific. But if you only said very generic question, or you tell, hey, I want a fruit, you'll say, okay, what fruit? Give me the content, give me information. So that is why you have to be specific. And the more specific, the better outcomes you will have. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it will be helpful for you. Uh, I would really appreciate if you can click on the like button in this video and also share the video with someone that you may believe it will be helpful. Okay, so thanks again. Here are my social media on Twitter, on YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also scan the QR code and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, thank you very much and have an excellent day. Bye bye.